Yo, what's going on, guys? This is Houston Sports Talk back into the video today, and today we're going to be talking about who the Denver Nuggets next head coach should be. After firing their head coach, Michael Malone, Denver is going to be looking for a new head coach next season. It could, look, the first guy we're going to start off with in the conversation of who could be the next head coach for the Denver Nuggets will be the guy that's taking over, David Adelman. That's a definite possibility for this, Denver Nuggets team. But, I think that just depends on how the last three games go for Denver and how the playoffs go. Because keep in mind, it's still possible Denver could fall to the play-in, depending on how the next three games go. I think if you're Denver, here's the thing you want to see tonight. You want to see the Oklahoma City Thunder win. And the reason I say this, you want to see the Thunder beat the Lakers. One reason is because you don't want the Lakers to get, you want the Lakers to lose potentially so they might fall in the play-in. But another reason why you want the Thunder to beat the Lakers tonight is because if the Lakers lose, the Rockets clinch the 2 seed. The Nuggets' last game of the season is against the Rockets. More than likely, if the Rockets have already clinched the 2 seed, last game of the season they have nothing to play for, which makes it, as a Rockets fan, I'll say this, even though the Rockets have a solid bench players, if they're resting their main guys, and the Nuggets have their main guys out there, the Nuggets in Houston, the game would be in Houston, Denver would easily beat the Rockets if the Rockets are going to rest their starters because they've clinched the 2 seed. And that's why you root for the Thunder tonight, and then maybe you're more comfortable because you got the Kings and the Lakers, two teams who are really fighting as well in your next two games, then the Rockets to finish off the season. I think if the Rockets have clinched the 2 seed and they're resting their starters, it'd be pretty easy for Denver to go 2-1 or 3-0 in the next 3 games, and at least win 1 or 2 against Memphis and Sacramento. But we'll see what happens there. But to be honest, you're having a coach for the coach's first game ever. So that's going to be, weird to figure out as well for this team. But if the David Adelman doesn't, that thing doesn't work, and, the 3 games that he coaches in the regular season don't go well, or maybe they do go well and then the postseason is not so good for this Nuggets team, and you want to go with the other route, I think David Adelman would be a solid choice for this Nuggets team. I mean, he's been an assistant coach for them for years, just as long as Mike Malone has been the head coach, all the way back to 2016-17 has he been an assistant for this Nuggets team and been an assistant for a while. He deserves his chance as a head coach. I talked about this a week ago because when the Grizzlies fired Taylor Jenkins, I talked about how, you got a guy like David Adelman. He could be an option for this Grizzlies team. He deserves his chance. The Lakers were looking at him last year. He was a guy that was in the conversations with JJ Redick and Dan Hurley last year. So he's not a bad head coach. I mean, he's not a bad coach at all, and he could be a solid option for Denver. So that's the guy I would say is option number 1. Now, Sam Cassell is another guy I'd put up there. He's a guy that's been with Boston the last couple of years, has been an assistant for a while now, really since the end of his playing days, had a really successful NBA career, and has been really good as an assistant. I mean, he's been in Boston the last couple of years, spent some time with Philly, the Clippers, and I'm just surprised to me he has not got that head coaching shot. I think he probably gets it. I don't know who it's with, but Denver definitely would not be in a bad position with Sam Cassell as their head coach. Now, the third guy I'm going to go with that has no experience is I'm a little biased here as a Rockets coach, as a Rockets fan, but Royal Ivey is a guy that's killed it with the Rockets as an assistant coach. I think he's been an assistant for a while. I think he could be a guy that would be a solid head coach for the Denver Nuggets. So I look at 3 guys that you haven't seen at the head coaching level yet, like Dave Adelman, Royal Ivey, and as well as Sam Cassell, and I think those are 3 good candidates. Now, but I wanted to kind of go over some candidates that have been head coaches before and could be good options for Denver. I look at 2 guys that have been fired this year. Mike Brown, who's a really good head coach, good veteran head coach as well, and then Taylor Jenkins as potential options for this Denver team. I also look at a guy who got fired last year by Milwaukee. AJ Griffin could be a solid option for this Nuggets team. So I look at three guys like that, who have experience head coaching wise. But it's going to be interesting. It's going to be really interesting to see what Denver does in the offseason. I think what's most important when you're going to pick your next head coach is, what does number 15 want? What does Nikola Jokic want? What makes him happy? Because this is the first time Nikola Jokic is experiencing this. It is. We know Nikola Jokic came into the NBA. His head coach was Mike Malone, and he wasn't that good yet. He wasn't, it's not like he had that much of a say early on in his career of, who was coaching for his, their team. But as his career went on, as he started to become a better player, Michael Malone was just the head coach. That never changed. Nikola Jokic has never experienced this in his career. He's never experienced a head coach being fired. Even though he's been in the NBA for almost 10 years now, since 2015, he's never experienced this. And it's the first time he's going to experience his team looking for a new head coach. And the Nuggets ownership, they have to take it in the way of, if Nikola Jokic doesn't like this guy, he doesn't want this guy as the head coach, we're not hiring him. I know that could be, because there could be a good head coach that is out there that you want to get, and maybe Jokic doesn't want that guy. I don't know how big Nikola Jokic cares about that. I feel like a lot of people act like Nikola Jokic doesn't care. I think there are a lot of things he doesn't care about, like the interview stuff, like all that kind of stuff, like having interviews within the game, talking to the media. He wants to go home after the game. But I truly believe he cares about basketball. He just doesn't care about what comes after basketball. So I believe he cares when it comes to who's going to be his next head coach. And Denver, their ownership, I don't know how the GM discussion would be. I don't know how much Jokic cares about who's going to be the next GM. Maybe he does that too. But I know the head coaching thing, that's a bigger story. And you got to make sure that him and the other main core players of this team, Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon, and Michael Porter Jr., and a guy who's a really nice young player, underrated player for this Nuggets team, Christian Braun, are all happy and okay with the decision. So let me know your thoughts on the Nuggets' next head coach. Who would I like to see? I personally, I don't know. I'd love to see Mike Brown. I don't know why, but I'd love to see Mike Brown in Denver. I think, I think there are a couple guys that could be good fits. Mike Brown, Taylor Jenkins. I would throw in Dave Adelman in there as well because he's so familiar with this Denver team. So, but yeah, let me know your thoughts on this potential Denver head coaching search that will be done in the offseason. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and peace out.